Basic command line entry and page setup for Activity 2 using AutoCAD 2013 educational version. In this tutorial, you're going to set up your limits, grid, and snap so you can complete Activity 2. To start off with, when I start in a CAD program and I zoom in and out, you have no concept of where you really are on the screen. So to make it easier when you get started, we're going to set up the limits to match a piece of paper. So to start with, I'm going to type in limits, and then you can see in the bottom command line area here, it says specify the lower left corner. Well, 0, 0 is the lower left corner, so we're just going to hit enter. Then it's going to say specify the upper right. In this case, to match a piece of paper, we're going to type in 11, 8.5 and hit enter. Okay, so there's my limit set. So when I print out later on, they will match a piece of paper. The problem is I have no concept of where those limits are on the page right now, or on the drawing area. So what I'm going to do is change a couple things so you can actually see where those limits are. So I'm going to type in grid display. And when I type in grid display, I'm going to change that to 0. Now what this is going to do is change the limit so you can see the outside area. So I'm just going to type in Z for zoom, A for all, and on the screen very faintly you can see some lines. Now what I'm going to do is change that even better, grid style, and click on enter, and I'm going to change that to a 1. And now what happens, I have dots on the screen that you will see easier. Okay, and when I use the scroll button to zoom in and out, you can now see that there's a set of limits around the outside. Okay, the next I can do is type in grid. And when I type grid in, you can see that the grid has been defaulted to 0.5. And I'm just going to change that right now to 2, and you can see what happens. And that's just simply there as a reference so you can actually draw from. So instead of 2, I'm going to hit spacebar to bring the last command back. I'm going to change that back to 0.5. Okay, there's my grid. Now the next thing is I want to change what's called the snap. So when I draw on here right now, if I just click on the line command, I can draw anywhere and it's got no reference to where I'm going. Okay, and I'm going to right mouse click and just hit cancel. I'm going to highlight the whole thing and just hit delete. Okay, so if I type in snap and I change that snap, and I'm going to change that snap to 0.25. Okay, so now I've got my snap set. So when I draw now my line, you will see that it actually snaps, and I'm going to zoom in closer here. You can see on the screen a bit closer. It's snapping to different locations. So I can click here, click, and I'm always left mouse clicking, and you can see that it's snapping to place. Okay, and I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to highlight. I'm just going to hit delete. Okay, so that's how I set up my snap so that it actually snaps to certain locations. Again, I'm going to go Z for zoom, A for all to get me back to my limits. Okay, now finally, kind of works like this. That's all typing in the commands. But most programs, they will have across the bottom some type of drawing aids toolbar. So if I find the grid one, in this case it's right here, I right mouse click, hit settings. In one screen, I can actually set these all up. So here's my snap X spacing. I've already set it to 0.25. Right? Here's my grid spacing, 0.5. Here's my dotted display the dots in 2D model space. So I've got that one already checked. And this one here, display grid beyond limits, I've actually unchecked it. So when I check it, you can see that I'm back to the grid going all over the place, but I don't know where my limits are. So again, right mouse click, settings, unclick that, and now I have my limits. This concludes setting up your page for Activity 2.